Yo, what up, YouTube? Alone So Q. I made a video about this last night, but it didn't work, so I'm going to do it again. Last night I went to a protest, and it was such a shit show that I've just been fucking livid since I got back, since I was there. It got so deep under my skin. This is one of those experiences in life where you really just it's an eye-opener. It makes you realize that you need to devote time to social change and to politics, you know. So what the protest was there was a man who got shot, James Boyd. He was killed by the police. He was illegally camping in the Albuquerque foothills. And you've probably seen the video, no matter where you're at in America or even international. That was a big headline, and it looked bad. The video looked bad. I thought it looked like a murder, and in fact, this is one of those rare cases where it went to trial, and but the trial ended up in a mistrial, and they acquitted the cops because the jury was split on the decision. And so people were upset about it. Now, I was concerned before I went to this event because I saw who was organizing it, an Occupy, related with those Occupy idiots from 8 years ago or whatever. And so I knew that these were socialists and that this was not going to be a productive meeting because they're talking about abolish the police, but they're socialists, so they don't believe in the free market, they don't believe in private security, they don't believe in volunteerism. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have a solution. And I totally got that impression when I went out there with these guys. None of them knew what they were doing. I kept asking, what's your end game here? Because look, I went there with my camera to try to interview people and talk to people about solutions, because I really was upset with the killing of this man, and when I saw that the cops were actually going to trial, I was like, wow, we're actually going to get justice on this one. So I was honestly shocked that the ruling came out in favor of the cops. And, you know, I was hoping we could get some dialogue going, because abolishing the police, it's not something I'm totally against if you're talking about replacing it with community police and, you know, making it more localized and having a more free market solution than having to rely on police to do all of the dirty work. But the reality is police are necessary to some degree. You know, there's crimes that people got to deal with, and these guys have a lot on their plate. And I've never been a fucking big cop defender, or I've never been a proponent of the state or state violence. I've complained about state violence for as long as I knew it was a thing. Hell, I even had my life threatened by a police officer when I was 13 or 14, and that shit stuck with me, man. I'll never forget that. You know, you don't forget something like that. It just stays in your mind. So I'm always sympathetic to these cases, because when that cop threatened my life, he said, "You're lucky I didn't fucking kill you." And the fact that he said that, you know, every time I see one of these incidents where somebody gets shot, I feel like, well, fuck, you know, that could have been me that day. And a lot of these times, and look, I put my hands up that day. Who knows, if I resisted in the slightest little bit, it could have been a whole different story. And this guy, James Boyd, he had some mental issues. He was camping illegally. You know, the thing that they were there for, and the fact that he just had a knife and they were a ways away from him, the video looks bad, and I was disappointed in the outcome of the trial. But I want to see some positive solutions. I want to move forward. I want to make a better society. These guys are talking about just tear it down. Like, seriously, so I go there to talk to them about solutions, but I didn't get a chance to, because right away after I get there, they're taken to the streets and they're blocking traffic and they're harassing citizens, which is the most retarded fucking protest tactic out there. I did a video on that already, talking about a different group doing that. I don't know who is teaching you guys to do that. I did get to talk to one person who was reasonable. If you know anything about communists, they're not very happy to get interviews or get recorded. So, you know, I'm guessing this girl that I talked to was one of the less radical ones. But she was on the sidewalk, and I was saying, well, you're not out there blocking traffic. You must see that there's something wrong with this. And she said, we're just trying to get attention. And I said, well, what's the end goal here? Just attention. That's all they could say. Just get attention. There's no solution. They're not looking to pass a law. They're not looking for reform. They're just looking to make noise. And the noise they're making is just noise. There's no substance to it. I tried talking to the guys out there blocking traffic, and they say the same thing. We're just trying to get attention. And I asked them, well, does it matter if you're just getting negative attention? I'm on your guys' side as far as the case goes, but seeing you behave like this, it makes me completely disown you. I don't want anything to do with you guys. I don't want to be associated with these protesters whatsoever, because I do not approve of that way of protesting. These people are fucking cowards. And here's why they're cowards. One, a bunch of them are wearing masks, which is fucking disgusting. Every time I got a chance, I asked them, why are you wearing a mask? Are you ashamed of what you're doing? You should be able to show your face if you stand for what you're doing. And they say, oh, no, we're not ashamed. But of course they are. You wouldn't wear a mask if you stood behind it. I didn't wear a mask. I went and did an interview with the news. And I told them the truth. These guys are out there flying fucking communist banners and being provocative and then playing victims when the cops show up. So they're out there harassing citizens who never did anything to them. They're being fucking shitty neighbors, ruining other people's evening, harassing them. And then when people try to force their way through the line, they start banging on the cars, kicking them. I don't know how many cars they ended up damaging. I talked to one guy who said he saw at least 3. And this was the one guy in a mask who, it almost made sense for him to be in a mask because... and I thought he was part of the protesters. Like I said, I was asking all the guys in masks, are you ashamed of what you're doing out here? So I went up to this guy and I said, are you ashamed of what you're doing out here? And he said, no, I'm just here to keep it safe. And he's like, he's protecting his identity because all these fools were crazy, man. I did not feel fucking safe there. And I agreed with them on the issue itself, but that didn't matter to them. It didn't matter that we were on the same page as far as state violence and on the same page as far as this trial. I was hoping it would go the other way. I wanted to see those cops face justice. I felt like what they did was wrong, but that's not the way to handle it, to take to the streets, to be harassing citizens. And here's the other part why they're fucking cowards. Because they're not out there breaking laws and getting arrested like they have some fucking principles. Fuck no. These guys are pussies. They're out there blocking traffic for fucking 5 minutes at a time. Just enough to piss everybody off. Just enough that the cops would maybe start to do something, and then they move on to the next corner. They get off the street for a second, and then they get back on the street and do it again. And none of them are getting arrested. And the worst part is these fucking idiots quote back to the civil rights movement as if they have any kind of principles like those people did back then. They would get arrested. If you had fucking balls, you would do like Jill Stein and actually get fucking arrested. Block traffic, be peaceful, put your hands behind your back, get arrested, get in the fucking cop car, and talk about it. Bring awareness to the issue. Don't be a fucking pussy in a mask, blocking traffic, kicking fucking cars of innocent citizens who didn't do shit to you guys. And then they get outraged and start crying and playing victim when the fucking SWAT team showed up. And I can't believe the fucking media put a few of those people up on the news. I saw a few news clips after the fact, and these people fucking crying, oh, I can't believe the SWAT team, look at this. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're protesting. Look at how militarized they are. Look at it. It's so scary. We didn't do anything. Except you were breaking the law for fucking an hour and a half straight before the fucking SWAT team showed up. And fucking unruly. You guys are screaming, no justice, no peace. I don't care what the fuck your apologist bullshit websites say about that. I don't care what the history is. I was there. I felt the fucking hatred. If you're not part of that mob, That shit's hatred, man. That shit's hatred. And I totally understand why cops would be scared of people who are fucking out there screaming no justice, no peace. Especially all these fools wearing masks. I didn't feel safe. Like I said, I agreed with them, and I just disagreed with their tactics. So I was calling them out and saying, do you guys think this is accomplishing anything? I'm here also against this trial, and I hate you guys for the way you're doing this. You're making the issue look bad. If anything, people are going to see that on the news, and they're going to think, what pieces of shit. These motherfuckers again. Those cops must have been right if the only people who are against them are these idiot fucking commies in the street. And they're going to fucking say they're non-violent. Of course they are. And that's what they're saying even to the media after they're fucking... Some of them are calling for riots. When I was asking, what's your end goal here, man? What are you guys trying to accomplish? And they couldn't give me an answer. And so I said, well, is riots the next thing? And they're like, oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And one guy explicitly told me fucking riots. I asked him, does no justice, no peace mean riots? And he got in my face, said, fuck yeah, it means riots. And if I wasn't filming his face, I swear to God, he fucking looked like he was about to sock me in the face. So I didn't fucking feel safe there, just criticizing their tactics. And I agreed with them on the issue. So the fact that they made me feel like I was in danger with all these fuckers in masks, because they hear you asking questions when I'm out there saying, why you guys flying a communist banner? Why you guys what does it mean to abolish the police? What does it mean to, what's your next step? You know, and I'm criticizing these guys trying to get to the real issue. There's all these people giving me the stink eye. If I try to interview somebody, some of these other guys will come up and say, oh, don't talk to him, don't talk to him. These fucking commies don't care about free speech. They don't stand behind their views. That's why they hide behind a fucking mask. They're vandalizing property, throwing fucking fake blood on the courthouse, throwing fucking or kicking cars and shit. It was such deplorable fucking behavior. And look, it was a really small crowd, so I didn't feel that unsafe. It was maybe like 40, 50 people tops. And so the reality is Albuquerque does not stand behind these socialist fucking idiots, these anarcho-communists who want to just fucking burn it all down, who just want to riot. And we don't know if these people came from out of town or if they came from fucking where. How many of these guys in masks were even undercover cops? Who knows, man? These things are fucking shady. But just the fact that these people exist, and some people buy into this communist horse shit about, oh, the ruling didn't go the way we want it, so we need to just riot. Fuck no. Fuck no. That's been going around the country with this Black Lives Matter nonsense. And of course they're pushing for riots in Albuquerque while flying a Black Lives Matter fucking banner at a protest for a fucking white man who got shot. This shit is disgusting. And the more aware of it I get of how fucking hateful and violent the left are, and you can say this is just the radical left, but it is fundamental to fucking leftism, violence in general, taking shit from other people, not respecting other people's property. And they'll tell you straight up, no, we don't believe in property. We can do all the damage we want. The only reason we're not going to do it is because we don't want to get arrested because we're fucking pussies. These guys are fucking disgraceful. And it really opened my eyes to what we're facing in this country is not just the government, it's fucking these Marxists, these communists, these fucking so-called anarchists who fucking don't understand shit, who are just all about using force to impose their will on others. These people are probably more dangerous than the fucking government because of their attitudes and their disrespect for life and property. And I cannot express how livid I was from this experience and how much they showed me. You know, and I used to buy into some of this stuff and take a real radical approach to it, but going there with a critical mind and wanting to look at it, well, you know, because I've been reading more about Marxism, and I've been looking at all these riots across the country with Black Lives Matter, and questioning some of my views on this stuff. And then so I go in there with a critical eye, and even with this small crowd, you could see that if this was a bigger crowd, they absolutely would have instigated a riot. These fuckers were ready to riot, and then when the riot cops show up, they fucking cry like little bitches, saying that, oh, HUD, where did this come from? We're so innocent. We're just out here exercising our First Amendment rights. Your First Amendment right doesn't include blocking traffic and fucking harassing citizens, kicking their fucking cars, doing property damage. That's not part of the First Amendment. And if you want to block traffic, get arrested like a man, like the fucking actual civil rights leaders you pretend like you look up to. Dr. King wrote his letter from the Birmingham jail. You write a letter from a fucking jail, right from the fucking detention center in Albuquerque. Don't get out there and hide behind a mask, kicking fucking cars, and then act surprised when the cops show up. They provoked that shit, and then they played the victim. That's what they always do. That's their tactic, and now I'm aware of it. I saw it up front. I saw the hate that they looked at me with. I saw people behind their masks looking at me, and it just fucking got under my skin, because I realized these people don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about their neighbors. They don't care about anything but their own selfish gain. These communist scum fucks. Fuck them. Fuck them all. I was disgusted by what I saw at that rally. And I know it's just a few people, but we cannot condone it at all. And I applaud Albuquerque for not showing up to that protest. And I hope that the media does not give these fucking idiots the attention that they're trying to get. I hope we just start ignoring these fucking protests, because these people are idiots. They have no solutions. The most coherent solution I heard all night was riot. And I'm against that 100%. I am 100% for peace, non-aggression, non-initiation of force. That's what libertarianism's about. And you know what? Whatever you want to criticize the NAP, if you want to criticize whatever, I'm about peace. And peace is the only solution. We have to find a way to work towards peace together. And there's ways to do it outside of the system. There's ways to do it within the system. You know, there's free market solutions, non-profit solutions. There's so many different directions we could go with this. But for people to think that the best thing to do is to riot and to harass citizens and provoke a police response and then play victim, it was shameless. Absolutely shameless. Sin vergüenza, you fucking pieces of shit. I could not stand what I saw. I can't explain how fucking angry I am looking at these people who think they're righteous and they're pushing for violence. No to violence. Always yes to peace. That's what's going to get us anywhere in this country. We can't buy into this shit. You know who's pushing this are these fucking idiot radicals from 40 years ago who have never accomplished anything, but they're still teaching kids. That's all they have to offer is their terrible fucking ideas. They pass them on to the next generation. I have no idea where these people are getting their protest tactics from or their bullshit rhetoric. None of them know what the fuck they're talking about. Half of them blame the problem on capitalism when they don't even know what fucking capitalism is. They don't know that capitalism is non-violence. It's fucking voluntary exchange that benefits everybody involved. They don't understand anything. They've never read an economics book. They've never read a history book. They don't even know about the civil rights, even though they like to fucking quote it. So I'm ashamed that I've ever been associated with these kind of people. And I will actively speak out against and counter-protest against these people. Because you know what? The counter-protesters there were the most reasonable people there. They talked to me. They're friendly and respectful. And other people are screaming at me. Fucking, I felt threatened a lot of the time just for disagreeing with them on how they're doing the protest. Even though it's objectively fucking retarded. Tell me, does anybody think blocking traffic is an acceptable tactic? Does anybody think no justice, no peace is this fucking whatever, man? People say there's some fucking metaphorical meaning to that. Fuck that. No justice, no peace. How is anybody on the street supposed to know what the fucking historical meaning is behind that shit? When you're an angry mob totally emotional, no fucking logic, no fucking solutions, just out there screaming no justice, no peace. What the fuck? What's your end game? How is that not a call for violence? No justice, no peace. And I kept asking them, does that mean a riot? And the one fucker got in my face screaming, fuck yeah, it means a riot. And I got that shit on video. So check that shit out. I'll link it in the fucking description. Don't ever buy into this socialist, this communist fucking nonsense, these anarcho-syndicalists. These people are fucking, they're violent. They want destruction. They don't care about constructive solutions. Fucking don't even deal with them. When you see that red and black, red and black anything, but when you see that red and black fucking banner, these fucking commie pieces of shit, keep an eye out for them. Be aware. None of the news people even recognize that anarcho-communist flag. They don't know what they're calling for. They're calling to fucking burn it down. They're calling to just fucking riot. They're calling for destruction. And then out the other side of their mouth, they're saying nonviolence. They're fucking snakes. They're lying pieces of shit. Fuck these commie scum. Don't buy the fucking hype. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe. Peace and love, gente. Peace and love is the solution. That is the way forward. Take care.